What's up, guys? It's Brian again from Lake Hickory Scuba and Marina. If you are new to our channel, do me a huge favor. Hit this little subscribe button over here and ding that little bell as well. That way you guys are going to be notified every time we upload new content. Now, who remembers this video here? Cylinders. But this tank boot is very unique in the simple fact it has a waterproof storage bin here at the bottom that you can actually stow away things while diving. Well, we are back to do a full-on test of the product itself. Miss Korean brought us her cylinder back, and she brought the tank caddy that goes with it. And by tank caddy, I mean it's just a boot that goes on the bottom of the tank. It's got wheels here on the bottom, and then, of course, it's also got a little storage container here on the bottom. And it's a pretty simple design as well. What this is actually designed for is for you, let's say that you're diving off a shore or something like that. You can roll your tank down to the water's edge. You can put items in it such as your keys, wallets, phones, something like that. Anything that you don't want to leave, say, alone on the beach or something like that. Maybe it's just your car keys. You lock up your car, you go diving, you want to take your keys with it. It's actually designed to store stuff in and then, of course, go diving. We're just going to store a piece of paper towel here. I've just got it folded up. And we're going to take it out, test it, see how it works. And see what the waterproof rating of this box is. Now, I do want to show you this. The seal that's on it, it's just foam. It's not rubber in any way, shape, or form other than it's foam. It's not like an O-ring. It's just a piece of foam. So I don't know how much I'm going to trust that underwater. But we're going to test it. We've got some tech divers headed down to Lake Jocassee. We're going to go down with them. I've actually got this cylinder rigged kind of like a stage bottle. Now, I'm not going to be putting a regulator or anything like that on it. I'm just going to strap it to my side, take it down to about 100, maybe 120 feet, see how it does, and then we're going to bring it back up, and we're going to test to see if the paper towel gets wet in any way, shape, or form. But once again, it's just a little storage container. Goes in the bottom of the tank boot here, locks up, and I can already tell, I don't know if the camera will show this, but that container is pretty flush, right? However, here on the corner, right here, it's protruding up a little bit. So it's not got a perfect seal, not even here on the surface. So we're not quite sure how this thing's going to work, but you guys have been begging us to test this since we showed this in the first video, and we've been begging to go out and test it as well. Alright guys, let's take this thing out on a little tech dive really quick. We are down on a place called Lake Jocassee down in South Carolina, and we have several tri-mix students that we're teaching today. And so I just figured, hey, why not carry this bottle? We're going to carry it in a fashion as if it was, say, a deco bottle. So once I get my actual deco bottle clipped off here, we're going to walk down to the water's edge, and we're going to give this thing a run for its money. We're going to see how the wheels work, see if it makes it a lot more comfortable in towing the tank or stowing the tank away as we walk down to the edge of the water, and just see how things work for us. So here I'm just going to go ahead and start rolling it down. And first thing I can tell you, it is a blessing not having to carry this on my shoulder or pick it up and carry it with my hand, or even worse off, clipping it to me as I did my deco bottle there. This makes it very, very convenient to tow, say, the tank, say, from the staging area all the way down to the water's edge. And as you can tell here, we got a little bit of a walk here. Thankfully, it's all downhill. Unfortunately, at the end of this dive, we're going to have to walk it back uphill. So, yeah, this does come in very, very handy. I was very, very impressed with how well the wheels did. Now, one thing I will state, if you notice the tank, it's a little wobbly. It's kind of hard to balance that cylinder there and to keep it from, say, and roll to one side to the other. But, nevertheless, it's got wheels. I can roll this tank. I don't have to drag it. Don't have to throw it on my shoulder. Don't have to pick it up with my hand to carry it. And, of course, I don't have to clip it off. A lot of you guys know I'm a side mount diver, and a lot of times I will walk with my tanks clipped off to me. So it's something I am used to, but this makes things so much easier to do and so much more comfortable as well. But I'm just going to go ahead and walk it in, go ahead and get the thing prepped. Now, one of the first things I noticed about this is as I was clipping it off, the cylinder itself is much more buoyant. And if you think about it, there is an air pocket in there as well, so it's going to float. But I'm just doing a quick little cursory inspection here just to see if it's going to leak directly below the surface. And as I pull it up, it'll look like there's water in it. That water is actually on the outside shell, if you will, of the pocket. The pocket doesn't appear to be taking on any water whatsoever. So at least here at the surface, it is waterproof. So I got to give it credit there. But here you can see the cylinder is actually floating. Now this aluminum 80 is full. It's got 80 cubic foot of air, 3,000 psi. It should be negative when it's full. Obviously it will float when it's empty, but here you can see it's floating. Now we're down at a depth at about 120, 125, and I didn't get as much underwater footage of the cylinder as what I wanted. I'm just basically turning the camera around here, showing you that it's clipped off, so that's kind of the cylinder in the top right section of the screen there. And although I am testing the cylinder, I'm also helping teach a Trimix course, so obviously my students are my main priority, but this was a great test and great time to test this cylinder considering we're at that depth. Now that we're back at the surface, I'm going to go ahead and unclip it, just do a really quick inspection to see if it leaked anywhere. And as you can see, some of the water is pouring out, but it does not appear to be any water in the storage. The water is just all around where that storage pocket actually is. So yeah, kind of impressed there that it didn't actually take on any water, at least at that cursory inspection it didn't. So now it's time to roll this cylinder out, and as I stated, we've got a very, very long walk up the ramp here and all the way back up to our vehicle. So we're going to get this cylinder back up there. We're going to get our gear off. We're going to open it up, see if there's any water in it, and then we'll see how well this tank caddy / storage bin actually worked on a cylinder. And let me tell you right now, having the wheels on this made this an absolute breeze going back up the hill. Now we're going to go over here, now that we've got our gear off, and let's open it up and let's see if there's any water in there. And shockingly enough, there's barely any water. Now I'm not going to lie, the paper towel was slightly damp. You can see just a little bit of water drops inside there, but the paper towel for all intents and purposes is still dry. I'm not sure I would put electronics in there, but this is going to be an awesome little device if you want to use it, say for diving, maybe for your keys or something like that to carry with you. This is actually very, very impressive, and we went to 120 feet and hardly any trouble whatsoever. Alright guys, there are a lot of products out on the market that are nothing more than gimmicks. They are a waste of money that you should never ever spend your money on. And then there's products out there that are actually good quality and things that you could actually make a legitimate investment on. And then there are those gimmick products that actually do what they say they're going to do. Now before I talk a little bit about my personal opinions on this, because I've already done that in a previous video. If you've not checked out our previous review of this product, click up there. I'll put it down in the description for you. My review still holds true to that. It's not something that I would ever personally use, although this one did kind of impress me on the functionality of how it actually worked. There were a lot of concerns I had on this product that my mind was eased on after we got out of the water. And there's definitely more concerns in the future as well about this product. But it is something that holds some vitality to it. There is some good reasons that you would want to pick this up, depending on what type of diver you are. So what are the goods and bads? Well, the bad part is you really have no control of this device. It's only if you're wearing it on your back, it's at the bottom of the tank. If you're wearing it in a configuration like I did, say in a stage system, you really have no control over it. And even though it didn't really throw off my trim in any way, that extra length that the tank boot puts on it did make it a little bit difficult when I was kicking. I could definitely feel the wheels and stuff on my legs as I was kicking underwater. But other than that, I was actually impressed with the way the wheels really held up. It made my life a whole lot easier going, say, from my vehicle down to the water and then from the water back up to my vehicle, especially where we were diving at. It's a very sharp incline. And instead of carrying this tank or keeping it clipped off, it made it very easy to be able and roll it around. So I really did enjoy the wheels that's on the bottom of this thing. And they held up. I don't know if you can see. They actually held up very, very well. They were plastic wheels, which I was a little worried about. I'd like to see rubber wheels. But let's talk specifically about the storage box itself, because I was very impressed with how well this actually stayed, let's call it semi-waterproof. Now I do want to call it semi-waterproof because it did not leak the way that I thought it would. Once again, this thing just has a foam seal here. It's not a rubber seal. And I don't know if the camera is going to show it, but you can see just a little bit of moisture in there as well. And the paper towel, that's it. It's just slightly damp. It's not damp enough for me to even call it wet, so to speak. It's just slightly damp. It still flops around in the wind here. So it actually held up very, very well. I think this product would be good if you're the type of diver that's just diving from shore and you need a place to put your car keys. Throw this on your tank, go down to about 20, 30 feet, and I think you're going to be just fine. Now, we did take this to the extreme. We took it deeper than 100. I think we hit around 125, and I was using this basically just as a, let's call it a fake stage bottle, if you will, and it just barely got a little damp. I was a little concerned in the beginning because it looked like the container itself was flooding, but what was actually flooding was the housing all the way around it. So this housing here, not where the container actually goes in. Now, one thing that I will state, because this thing is sealed, now you've got an air pocket inside this. So if you're using this, say on a stage bottle, a side mount bottle or something like that, just bear in mind your ballast of your cylinder is going to change. It's already aluminum. They get light when you use it. This is going to make it even lighter, because if this is sealed and this is an air pocket, it's going to cause the tank to float. And we were able to tell that even with a full cylinder, it did cause that tank to float a lot more easier. So yeah, but my honest review of this, I still believe it's just a gimmick, but it's a pretty cool gimmick. And forget the storage container. For the price of what you're going to pick this up at, it worked very well as just a tank caddy to go, say, from your vehicle down to the water's edge and whatnot. So I was actually very impressed. Now, am I going to endorse this product? No, it's not a product that I would ever use, but it is a pretty cool product. And if you're interested in seeing more test-related videos like that, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you've got a product that you would like for us to take out and test, even if you just think it's a gimmick in general and you want to see it be destroyed, send it over to us. We'll be glad to take it out, do a very thorough test on it, and we'll be happy to destroy any gear that you may have. But guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Definitely share it. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, drop me a comment down below and we'll discuss. And once again, if you got a product that you would like for us to test, check out the links below. Send us an email to get started, and then send us the product, and we'll be glad to test it for you. But until our next video, take care, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.